Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Sector 5. I'm your host as always, Cody the Hangman Heinzman, and this is going to be a little bit of a different video. And we're going to see how this works. And I hope you all enjoy. Now, what is this video going to be about? This video is going to be about WWE 2K26. And that is going to require me to show some footage from the PlayStation. So, let's get started talking about WWE 2K26. And kind of the problems people have had and kind of my thoughts on the game. So my thoughts on the game that a lot of people are having controversies about is the ringside passes. So each DLC, and when the game released, they have these different ringside passes. And you have to get them to, if I can get to it. I thought I could skip ahead, but I can't. So we're just going to scroll all the way up here to 40. And as you can tell on the current banner, I am up to 28. So I'm making some good progress on it. And some people's complaints on this is, why should I have to play the game to unlock different things? And I agree to it to an extent. I've been enjoying the ringside pass. At first, I feel it was hampering progress for how I play this. I am someone that enjoys universe mode. Universe is where I spend most of my time. I enjoy going through the showcase and everything and unlocking stuff through the showcase. That is something I've enjoyed with every game, and it's, I think, the best way of doing it. And universe. And I am someone that, let me load up my universe here. I do have my own little brand here called Sector 5, and right now I have an interesting match. As you can see, Cody Rhodes, the current undisputed WWE champion, defending his title in a 6-man Hell in a Cell match. That's going to be an interesting match. I can't wait to get around to that. But other title, like, I try and defend all the titles. And here at the end, you can see I have another title match for the Unity Tag titles. Bliss and Charlotte Flair taking on Pretty Deadly. That's a pretty interesting match. Which, it's kind of funny because the game had these two in a tag team match preemptively as the Curtain Jerker. Which, for those who may not know that term, it's the match that starts at the beginning, which now you can see my Curtain Jerker is this title match, which should probably be main event, but the way I set up things, I pull stuff out of a hat and randomly get things set up, as you can see here, and you can see my poor handwriting. But that's how I go about my universe. I try and, defend everything. And the season passes and the Persona cards was a good inclusion in the last game, in 2K25. I do have some problems with how some Persona cards are obtained in this game. And I will load that up for you now. I currently am on the My faction. This is where what I'm gonna talk about. Let's load up My faction for a second here. And this is where you get most of your Persona cards. And I actually enjoyed going through My faction a little bit in the last game, but I didn't think I was going to, and I did actually kind of enjoy it, and it did kind of better me in the game. So here we go, we got it loaded up. And we'll go into live events here. That's one of the ways you can get Persona cards. I'll just scroll down here, and you can see, once I get to it, like right here, you finish this one, you get Kofi Kingston, which that's not too difficult. It's fine with something like this. And like, as you can see, I got that Jean-Paul Levesque card. My problem I have is right here in the World Tour. The World Tour was okay in 2K25. 2K26, they bumped it up. And I'm fine with that to an extent. What I'm not fine with is the fact that, let's go here. I'm going to load up Atlanta here. And if you finish Atlanta, you get Elite Jimmy Uso. Cool. The problem I have is, like, that was a Persona card in the last game. So why are we putting something that could be unlocked in the last game as an unlockable in this game? Like, if this was a different Persona card that, like, wasn't in the last game and is in this one, I would be alright with that. It's just a little infuriating. And then the next thing that's infuriating with this is what you have to go through to unlock this card. The match that I'm stuck on currently is a gauntlet match. And you are in a gauntlet match, for those who might be coming to this video not too into WWE, which I don't know why you'd be watching this if you're not into WWE, but you might just be watching it because you enjoy my content, which, if that's the case, thank you. I appreciate it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Anyways, in a gauntlet match, it is you versus an X number of participants. And this one is 3, which I'm okay with. It's not so much a problem. The problem I have is when it's one of these where you cannot see your HUD. And by the HUD, I mean at the bottom, if you're not familiar with the WWE games, at the bottom, it has a little screen that... Here, let me try and load up a match here. Let me quickly get a match set up so I can better explain what I mean by a HUD. So let's just put... I'm going to put Claire Wheeler, which, if you guys don't know who this is, that is Proton John. I will put a link to her Twitch in the comment section below. I love Claire. Claire is one of my favorite content creators. And I'll go ahead and throw Claire here against another fellow content creator, Mr. Tom Fox, which his Twitch and YouTube will also be in the description. Let's start this match up here so I can explain what I mean by the HUD. Alright, Claire and Tom. And what I mean by the HUD, let me put Claire as a... Alright, there we go. What I mean by a HUD is, if you can see on the bottom where you can see these guys' name, you got that green bar. And underneath you have a blue bar that will go up, as you can see a little bit from Tom there. That goes up to get your signature. And then the empty squares at the bottom would be your finishers. So many of the matches in the World Tour take that HUD away from you, which sometimes is okay. Sometimes it's not that big of an issue. What becomes more the issue is when they bump up the opponents so hard that it makes the match nigh impossible to win. Okay, so I loaded up this match here so I can kind of show you what I mean by this terrible gauntlet match. As you can see, as this loads up here, you can see that my opponents are Pink Diamond, which is the highest tier of card in the My faction. They have different tiers. You got Pink Diamond, Diamond, Amethyst, etc., etc., etc. So your highest tier is Pink Diamond. So these ones are the toughest of tough in this. And as this match goes on, I will explain. I will let this match go on as I talk more on my thoughts. There are different factors that can come into play with different superstars' abilities. Like, they have the ability that when you go for a pin, they can just kick out. Or they start with their signature and hit you with it, and the match ends quickly. And I know that might just be me sounding like I can't play the game. But those limiters are way too hard for someone to go through. And if you are someone like me, that again I said just enjoys playing the universe mode, it slows your progress in getting to the part of the game that you want to play. And it is one of those cases that, yeah, I could just ignore it. I want to have as many of the superstars that I can have. So I would like to have some of these, but I have come to the point that I just am not going to complete this, you know. I'm not going to be able to. I have chosen not to beat my head against the wall for some of these superstars, which I feel is a negative in this game's favor. You should want to have people playing and unlocking things and not making it nigh impossible. So at first, I was not a big fan of having to, which is going to sound dumb when I say it, having to play the game, but I have come to a I'm trying to think of what the word is that I want. if it comes to me, I will say the word. I will come back to that. But basically what I'm trying to say is I've reached a point where, okay, the season passes come out. I will go into the My Faction, and I will go into the island, which is another thing I haven't talked about. I wasn't going to mess with the island, but now that I've reached this point, I'm like, okay, I can go into the island and try and get this season pass completed. And I really wish I could get this word that I want. What's coming to mind is understanding, but that is not the word I want. I made an agreement with myself, is what I'm trying to say. There's a word that I want to use. But I basically was like, okay, when the ringside pass drops, I will mess with the My Faction and that until I get it up to where I need it. And I will mess with my universe once I'm done. And then I learned that you actually gain the RXP, which, if you can see up in the top corner, that's kind of the experience level, whatever you want to call it, to get you to that next tier. You can actually earn that by, let's reload up the universe here, by hitting Watch Show. If you hit Watch Show, you can actually gain some RXP. So, like this Sector 5, big surprise, I call my wrestling promotion Sector 5. These 5 matches I have set will gain me RXP towards moving forward. So if I run out of things in My Faction to mess with, I could watch my Sector 5 show, which is what I do mostly, you know. I don't play this game a lot. I watch this game, which may sound weird to some people, but I think the appeal with this game is the what ifs, you know. If I was to set something up, and like I said, I randomly make the matches, and how, like in this first match that I was talking about, how the opponents was chose in the Hell in a Cell match I have here was, I had 5 10-man Royal Rumbles, and the winners of those Rumbles qualified for this match. If the title is vacant, I do 30-man Rumbles. So, do I think this game is as bad as people are making it out to be? No. Do I have my problems with it? Yes. Completely, I have my problems with it. And I think the only real problem I have is the difficulty in World Tour. I would be more willing to try and go through what's going on in the World Tour if I was unlocking something new, not something that was unlockable in the last game. And even then, I don't know if I would keep hitting my head against the wall to keep me away from what I actually enjoy from the game. So, at this point, I think I've talked about really everything I want to talk about with WWE 2K26. I hope come, 2K27, they improve on it. I honestly, I think I actually enjoy having the inclusion of the ringside pass. If not because it gives you extra things that you might not get. Like, let me reopen up the ringside pass here to better explain what I'm meaning. Like, right here at the beginning, I get this All-Star pack for my faction. I get more my faction points towards buying more packs or superstars if I want it. And the good thing about the ringside pass is that as long as you have the premium, you get the DLC characters right off the rip. You don't have to unlock them. You will get your DLC characters. So all in all, I don't think they steered us wrong by giving us the ringside pass. I do see its benefit. And I honestly, if they did this for the next game, I would be fine with it. So, all in all, that is my thoughts on 2K26. I hope as long as this game franchise goes on that they just keep bettering the game. There are some people, that these difficult things that I have problems with might actually enjoy. Someone else might actually enjoy, playing this game and not the sandbox part. Something I was saying whenever the game came out and I was thinking about it, is like, they should, at this point, they should, try and separate it. Here's a game for the people that just want the sandbox universe mode like me, and here's a game that you can play the world tour type things. Here's a set of challenges that you can do. But now looking at it, it's okay having them as one game. So I think it's really all I have to talk about with WWE 2K26. I just hope they take the feedback that everyone's given them for 26 and make 27 just as good or better than 26. I'm hesitant to say that I'm going to get WWE 2K27 as well, though. With how WWE is going and everything, I'm honestly on the fence if I'm going to get the next 2K game. But I know me, when the time comes, I'm probably going to get it just so I can enjoy whatever the showcase mode has in store. So I hope you all enjoyed. And as always, I'm Kerry the Hangman Heinzman. That's just how it is.